Welcome back to the BCSN Game Time coverage of the 2025 SWAC Football Media Day, and we have saved the best group for last. None other than representing the highest of Seven Hills in Tallahassee, Florida. We have head coach James Colzie in the middle. Joining me to my left is first team preseason All SWAC and All American FCS, Ashton Grable. And down on the end next to Roy Eavins is first team preseason All SWAC defense, Davion Westmoreland. Rattlers, welcome, and thank you for taking time to come talk to us. How's everybody doing?
I'm good. How you doing?
We're gonna need somebody to help us with the checkout. We overstayed our welcome. So
Oh yeah.
Well, that's what Rattlers do. We sometimes can do that. We'll find a way. Somebody will take care.
Appreciate it.
Coach, let's start with you. Wow, year number 2 for you, and what a year ago. From the past, 365 days.
Yep.
What has the experience been like for you being the head coach of Florida A&M? And you think about year 1, what have you learned about yourself outside of the just experience?
Well, I think, you think back to January 1st, 2024, we were in a transition, right? Didn't necessarily know where we were going to go, who was going to be here, who wasn't going to be here. And then now you look at January 1st of 2025, the mission's clear. We know exactly what we needed to take care of. We needed to make sure we took care of stuff during the offseason. We knew exactly what we needed to do in comparable to last year. I think, with our guys during the spring, being able to go through our mat drills, being able to lift, being able to go through spring practice, being able to go through OTAs and install with everybody being on the same page, that's definitely a lot different than it was last year.
And I'll come to the guys here for a second. I want you to take a second and talk about these two young men because, of course, as we've been doing this over the last 4 years, I think this is the first time that we have brought interior linemen to the SWAC Football Media Day, and none better than these two young men. So I'd like for you to kind of talk about Ashton and Davion, Coach, and just kind of not just why you brought them, but what they mean to this team going into this fall.
Well, I think, there wasn't really a message to be sent. Now, these are just two guys I really felt deserved to come. Obviously, Ashton being a 2-time all-conference player and, on a couple All-American lists last year, and Davion Westmoreland, who should have been all-conference last year, but
yes,
ultimately was voted to be the preseason. But I think it just says a lot about our team, right? I think that, we got skill positions across the board. Our receivers, our DBs, our running backs. And that's kind of the way it is across the conference, right? But to win this conference, to be the SWAC champion, you got to be great at the offensive line and the defensive line. And these are two guys that are the leaders of those groups. And if we want to get to where we need to be, these two guys not only need to be all conference, but also need to be all American for us to be able to hoist that SWAC championship trophy and have the opportunity to play in the Celebration Bowl.
Right. Go ahead, Roy.
Coach, I'm going to jump in and ask a quick question. I'd read somewhere that you guys had the number 1 transfer recruiting class or something in the portal. But what I want to know more so as it relates to that, how are you getting those guys ingrained into what you want to do is creating your system and the culture at FAMU that you want to? You just talked about that now being in your second year.
Well, I think the biggest thing is that our guys, our current players, do a great job of recruiting the guys that come in. They talk about how happy they are, the things that we can do for them, and how we can help them reach the goals that they need to get to. But we talk about the portal, but our team is, because of the 30 seniors that we have, and 20 of those 30 seniors are guys that are returning players, right? I think that says a lot about what we're doing. And don't get me wrong, we're not perfect in every single thing that we do, but I think the guys really, really enjoy themselves while they're here, which is the most important thing for me.
Ashton, let me come to you. You've obviously earned the accolades based on the performance on the field.
Yes,
so obviously, no surprise getting the preseason honors. But what is it you want to do? What do you want this offensive line, this offensive unit, to be able to achieve this year? And I don't know if this is your final year eligibility. Okay, so in this final year eligibility, what is it you want this offensive line, this group, to be able to achieve this season?
I want us to be the best unit we can be. We have enough talent, enough size, enough athletes to have the best unit in the conference. And me personally, I feel like if we don't achieve that, we are leaving a lot on the table. We got guys like Charles Davis coming back. He's an all-conference guy.
Yes.
We got guys like Ricky Taylor. He's going to be at center. He's going to be an all-conference guy. We got guys like Elijah Philippe. He's going to step in. He's going to be an all-conference guy. So I feel like we don't have the best running game. We don't give it the least amount of sacks. We are definitely not living up to our full potential. So That's one thing I'm really on those guys about, like working out hard, doing the extra things, staying on top of of your diet, stuff like that. Yes, sir.
And through your years at FAMU and with this team, you've seen the transition of a large returning group,
Yes, sir.
and then sort of a reload with a lot of new transfers. And so what has this season been like in terms of getting guys on the same page and understanding how things need to be done in order to experience the type of success that you've experienced as a SWAC champion?
It's been easier this year because, like Coach said, we have 20 seniors coming back. So, like, we have more guys that can police the younger guys and the transfers to come in. And good thing about all the transfers that's coming in, those guys are willing and eager to learn. They're not trying to come in and do their own thing. Those guys are coming us, pulling us to the side, trying to see how we run things, what we stand for, the do's and the don'ts. So I feel like we're definitely heading in the right direction.
Nice. Let me come down you to Davion. Now, when you came to FAMU last year as part of that dark cloud defense, you heard all about it. You knew what it's all about. And we had a chance to talk during the year. As the season progressed, and now you go into this season, what is your mindset in how we can get that defensive unit, and especially the defensive line, to that standard that when you came to FAMU that was there?
Well, you know, I really want everyone who we face to feel our presence. You know, apply a lot of pressure to every team that we face. I felt like we didn't hold up to the standard last year, and this year will be a big difference.
Mm-hmm. Go ahead, Roy.
So, guys, I want to ask you something. This is a little personal. Now, this is your last year of eligibility. And
also
your last year. What are some personal goals that you guys have set for yourselves in your final season of playing?
Me personally, I mean, I have aspirations of going to the NFL, but right now I'm just trying to get us back to the Celebration Bowl. That feeling I felt in 2023, holding that championship up, it's indescribable. I want everybody to feel it. I want Davion to feel it. I want Coach Colzie to feel it as a head coach. I want guys who just came in this year to feel it. So whatever I can do, if Coach say go to receiver, if I gotta go to,
That ain't
I know. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. Whatever I gotta do.
Don't give away our trick play.
I know. I'm just saying. Whatever I gotta do from a leadership standpoint, being a senior, playing multiple positions, whatever I gotta do to help us get back to that, that's my whole focus right now.
There you go.
You know, I really just been focusing on improving my pass rush, just being a consistent force coming off the edge, and also being a better team leader and help my team have the #1 defense in the conference.
Okay.
Can I jump in, because you mentioned NFL aspirations, and I know I talked to both of you guys about having those aspirations. One of the things that the SWAC did yesterday was you guys had a chance to hear from the NFL regarding that. If you would, take a second and talk about what that opportunity to hear what it's going to take and what that transition looks like. Talk a little about what you learned and where you feel like you need to be or where you need to get to in order to realize that dream after the season is finished.
Yes, sir. So yesterday after that meeting, I learned a lot because a lot of those people who's on the panel, they play in the NFL or they got ties to the NFL, and their whole thing now is just trying to help guys like me and Davion at HBCUs to get to the NFL. So they were just telling us the do's and the don'ts, how to sell ourselves, how to carry ourselves. If we get an invite to any combine, any camp, anything after the season, do every drill. Don't sit out. Don't try to opt out of anything. Take advantage of all your opportunities that come to your way. Mm-hmm. Yes, sir.
Davion, you want to add?
Just like he said, you know, they was basically giving us the answer to the test. You know, just go out there and give it your all, man. Don't take nothing for granted.
Yeah. Yes, sir.
Coach, I would be in trouble with Rattler Nation if I don't ask you some question related to what QB1 is going to look like in the fall. You know, I know you don't want me to ask it, but I have to ask it. You know, journalism, all that good stuff. So what can you tell us? You got a great room of young men that have some played in the spring, some have transferred in. What can you share with us about the decision and the process that you're going through, you and Coach Burris?
Well, you know, we were in a similar situation last year, right, trying to figure out who was going to replace Musa, you know, and I think we did a pretty good job with Daniel Richardson, and yes, we're now in a similar situation. I think we're, you know, after the spring, you know, well, before the spring, you know, we brought in Tyler Jefferson, who I thought did a very, very good job during the spring. But if you guys remember during the year, you know, we lost D. Rich against Prairie View and didn't necessarily have the necessary backup. So I think for us was making sure we had to have the adequate depth at that position, and then got a chance to bring in 2 other guys that one, R.J. Johnson coming from Toledo, and then Jet Petty, who was an All-American at the junior college level. So, we understand the position that we have, right? Being the quarterback at Florida A&M is the second most important position, minus who the president is at the university, right? So,
yes, sir.
So it's a big role. I'm gonna tell my team, man, we gotta run the ball and we gotta stop the run, but there's going to be certain times during the game where that quarterback's got to be able to make the throw to get us over the hump. So, I will say this, we'll more than likely make a decision a lot earlier than we may have done last year. But, these guys could tell you, man, OTAs, we got a different quarterback working every series, and we're trying to find out who that guy's going to be. And hopefully, we make the right decision. But we definitely have some guys that have the ability to play the position, but they got to take care of the football, got to be able to run the offense, get the big boys lined up, and make sure that they're one of our team leaders of our football team.
Ashton, hold on a second. No, nobody's listening. Can you give us any insight? What's in
I make the offensive linemen practice with blindfolds. So they don't know what quarterback's back there.
I'm going to ask about the running game, and we know Thad Franklin also part of the first team. Talk a little bit about that and the rest of those guys that you're blocking for.
Yes, sir. I love blocking for guys like Thad Franklin and Bo Somerset, and we got new running back Jamal Haley from Central Michigan. Those guys are great, tough runners. They're very elusive, quick. They can make people miss in the open field. So I feel like we just create lanes for them. They'll make them happen. You know what I'm saying? Yep.
Nice,
yes,
nice. Go ahead, Roy.
So, again, mine's kind of getting a little bit on the surface, but I loved your answers, both of you guys, that you did to my last question. What do you feel that FAMU football team has to do? If I'm not mistaken, that dark cloud defense name was something. Did you guys come out of it? That came?
No, we didn't start that.
Yeah,
it was there. Somebody,
okay,
but it's there. It's a real thing. It's a real thing.
I know that, so I know it picked up steam and everything. But you being here, you get to see some of your competition. You get to meet them. You talk to them, see what's going on. What do you think that you and your teammates have to do?
Personally, just don't get complacent. I feel like 2024, we got very complacent because we won the national championship the year before. So I feel like we just was like we were full, we were satisfied. So I feel like we get back hungry and go ready to hunt. We'll get back to it. We'll bring a ring back to Tallahassee. So that's the goal. Mm-hmm. Yep.
Yeah, same with him. I feel like we got complacent also last year, and I feel like we just got to continue to stay humble, keep our head down, just continue to work.
Definitely.
Coach, you got some good ones. When they say that, that's the part you want them. You want them hungry. Because when you get, but the saying, one of the sayings I like, hogs go to the slaughter, pigs get fed.
That might be some South Georgia stuff.
It is. It's some Georgia stuff.
That's how we.
Where you from, Coach? I thought it was a South Florida thing. He's from where are you from? South Florida. You never heard that.
That must be Fort Lauderdale or Boca Raton.
Coach, it ain't a Florida thing.
Definitely not Miami. I don't know what that is.
It's not a Florida thing.
Pig slaughter and hogs and.
Oh my goodness. Hey, again, Coach Ashton, Davion, I really appreciate you guys taking time here. As it means a lot to me, the network, and everybody who's watching. I mean, because a lot of people are clearing out. You guys stuck around to come talk to us.
We got to do that now. We got to do that.
I don't take it for granted.
No,
it's much appreciated. I'm sure we'll talk later down the road. Any final questions there, Roy, or final comments?
I'm going to close it out.
Okay.
You finish your
that's it. Thank you.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, we want to thank everybody for tuning in and doing what you do with us today. SWAC Media Day is the kickoff of our season. It's our preseason game, getting ready to do some things. We will see the Rattlers down
Orange Blossom
Classic. So we'll be down there with the Game Time show. See you guys in Miami getting the season kicked off. Also, don't forget to look for us at the MEAC SWAC Challenge. Didn't get a chance to talk to John Grant. This is the first year that we've done this that John Grant didn't get on the air with us.
No, I think he knows that we're going to the press conference tomorrow, so I think he's kind of like, I'll talk to you guys tomorrow.
Safe travels, guys. Safe travels.
So what we're going to do again, Kim, go ahead and cue the intro up. We're going to run that out of here. But we would be remiss as Rattlers if we didn't end this the way that Rattlers end things, because we're going to strike, and strike again.
There you go, my man.
We'll see you next time right here on the
Appreciate it.
BCSN Game Time show.